It is
You
not one of the biggest shows. You guys should not be, might not be stingy about the words. It's the biggest show.
It is the biggest show. I take that back. I rephrase that. It is the biggest show.
You want to ride on the shoulder of the stars, and still you want to make the film within that kind of a budget. You should have a closed door conversation with the stars instead of doing it in front of the media, because it is not going to help you. I came to Mumbai with a serial, TV serial in my hand, and as soon as I shot for one day, I was chucked out of that serial, and I was completely shattered. He has dreams in his eyes. He doesn't look like a hero, doesn't look like a villain, and doesn't even look like heroine's brother. So I didn't look like anyone. If you know any doctor, alternative doctor, please let me know, who can really fill it.
So, hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. Today, I have with me an actor who absolutely needs no introduction. I'm delighted to welcome Manoj Bajpayee, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
taking the time out.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a significant milestone in your career, your 100th film. You're the producer. So, looking back at your illustrious career, could you recall a point where you thought that, yes, I have made it?
No, it's a very different kind of a profession. And that too in a city like Mumbai, you never feel that you've arrived. You don't feel that you've achieved and you are done. It doesn't let you rest. But I'm also a kind of a person who is not nostalgic, who is not carrying the burden of the work on his shoulder. Not at all. For me, every day I'm starting out, and every day is an opportunity for me. Uh, so, and that's how I take it. So, mm, it's and also feeling of reaching there or achieving it. It doesn't occur at all in my mind.
I was watching this very interesting video clip from the success party of Satya, where you say that the adulation in your career came very late. Interestingly, you said that people thought that Satya is actually your first film, whereas it was in fact your seventh film.
Right.
So how do you see that today? Like, do you believe that the adulation came to you very late in your career?
I mean, see, I decided to do theater instead of coming straight to Mumbai and work on myself and my craft. So, if at all it had to happen late only, because my entire focus was on theater for many years, and I gave it all. And when I suddenly woke up one day, I realized that this is the time that I should just leave theater and focus on working in films. It was not going to be easy in a different city, in a new city like Mumbai, which is a very difficult city. It's a commercial city, and there is a cutthroat competition. There has always been uh, mm, you know there has always been things very difficult for all the actors coming from outside. uh, Even now I see suddenly there are so many numbers of actors getting off every day in Mumbai at the station, with
Yeah.
the dreams in their eyes. It was no different even then. It's just that the system was not there. It's just that the casting directors and all of the corporates, nothing. It was a very disorganized industry. We really didn't know where to go, where to look for work, what exactly we should do. So we were just kind of beating around the bushes, just trying our luck in all the studios, on all the sets, meeting all random people from the film unit, hoping that somebody will convince the director to take me in his next project. So it was all dark. It was all dark. So it had to come late anyway. But I came to Mumbai with a serial, TV serial in my hand, and as soon as I shot for one day, I was chucked out of that serial, and I was completely shattered because I didn't have any other reason to stay in this city, but I had to stay back with no money in my hand, with with one rejection already happened.
Did
Uh,
you feel like giving up?
Once or twice it had happened when I thought of because of the rejections. Suddenly you feel that your worth is nothing. You are whatever you felt about yourself, whatever people said in theater about you was all lie. So I think there is nothing in me, and unnecessary. I was wasting my time, my life on becoming an actor, and that too after having done theater for 10 years.
So that's sort of a jolt.
Jolt, I would not say jolt. Yeah, because when you are young and you are, you know, no matter how trained you are, if you are in
Yeah.
new city, it is not written on your forehead that you know your
Mm.
job. So you are going to be compared with each and everyone who is standing in the crowd or in the line. So you will be treated like a person who has no experience, who knows nothing, and it just he has dreams in his eyes. It doesn't look like a hero, doesn't look like a villain, and doesn't even look like heroine's brother. uh, I didn't look like anyone. So there was a time when things looked completely dark and hopeless.
Very interestingly, this thing that you mentioned, that I didn't look like a hero, I didn't look like a heroine's brother even. A very interesting conversation. Not very long back, I had the privilege of speaking to Nawazuddin Siddiqui, who sort of said the same thing, that कि पता नहीं, मतलब मैं भी कभी कभी सोचता हूँ कि ऐसा शक्ल लेके क्यों आ गए हैं. Do you think that the industry also sort of brackets people like that, brackets artists like that?
Mainstream, yes, definitely. Mainstream has always operated primarily with the same template of heroines, and character artists, uh, and a comedy actor, and a villain. The mainstream always had its own template, and that's what they always went with. And I had a problem with it. I had a problem with them looking at me from the same lens. I refused to be looked at in the same manner, and that is why it took me many years for me to really find my own directors and find my own roles.
Speaking of finding your own roles and not conforming to the templates that you speak of, we've seen you as an artist backing films, fantastic films like Banda, like Joram, like Aligarh. Where do you find the strength and the conviction to sort of pursue projects that are not commercially driven, but they're very culturally rich, and they are also very rich in storytelling?
Yeah, that was the focus. That was the focus. The story was the focus. The script was the focus. The characters were the focus, and nothing else. And this is what I was looking for in the time when these kind of films were not happening. So I was expecting this industry to give me something where industry hasn't even reached there. Okay, so I was that way. I was a dreamer, and I was a very impractical guy with lot of resolve and lot of stubbornness, and that was the kid I was to my parents, a stubborn kid who always wanted things which was not possible. I think these were the childhood traits that I was born
Yeah.
with. It has made me suffer, and it has also made me achieve many other things.
But when you do such films, I've had the privilege to even review Banda. I absolutely loved it. Uh, what is the emotional investment like? In such films, um, the story is so heavy. Do you have a method to the madness?
There's always there's always an experience to the madness, and there is always method to the madness too. So both of them combined really help you to swim through. Uh, what was not there in me was when I was doing Bhaiyaji, because there was no method at all to all the things which was required. The high voltage action, that was something. I'm a very disciplined person. I I sleep in time. I wake up in time. I have a regime that I follow boringly every day, and I don't get tired of. Uh, but that was it. I was not a trained action actor, and action director was very ambitious. He wanted me to do also all those things without any duplicates. So every day was a risky day. Every day was a dangerous day for me, and I lost. I you know I almost I injured my knee so much that it is still not healed up. So, but what you set out to achieve, it there is something which is required to call madness. But if there is a method to it, then you can save yourself. If there is no method to it, like in Bhaiya Ji, there was no method. It's something that I've learned through the rehearsals, learned through mm, uh, no, really rehearsals and doing it again and again and trying to achieve it. That is why, Bhaiya Ji was very difficult for me. When I'm doing Aligarh or I'm doing Banda, I know how to approach, which way to go, the ideas I come up with, and find a way to approach the character, to make the graph, to stick to the consistency of the graph. All of those things I have the experience, and with the experience I found the method to approach those these characters. But action is something, on that kind of an action I was not prepared. But it is only the resolve and the stubbornness that I'll achieve it. I'll achieve it by doing it again and again and again and again. I achieved, but in turn I have injured myself very badly. My left knee is still not healed up. If you know any doctor, alternative doctor, please let me know, who can really fix it.
But when you're also a producer on such a film, is that an additional burden or is it the fun part?
The fun part is that you keep the uh, obstruction and interference away, and you let the director work in silence. And director is young, so with the mainstream cinema there are many people who are there to give you all kind of commercial gyans and the market gyan, and
Yeah.
I wanted to save him from all of that,
Yeah.
and give up and be a cushion to him. uh, Other than that, I went with his conviction. My production company, Orega, it went with the director's conviction. The only thing we were very stubborn, very strict about was sticking to the budget. Sticking to the budget because we were taking the film in theater, and theaters, the state of theater, nowadays, it is becoming more difficult to get the people out of their comfort zone and
Yeah.
to watch a film.
Like you said, that keep staying uh, sticking to the budget, which is a very important point, because so much is being said about star fees, about entourage fees, and all of that. So how do you respond to that as a producer?
I mean, look, Shanka, I'm an actor. I'm not a star. People come to me with a very proper story, content-driven film or the character-driven film. I don't have a big entourage traveling with me. Okay, I have a staff which has been working with me since 25 years, and they're the same people and same number of people who travel with me, and I'm getting the same kind of perks that I've been getting for so many years. But other than that, and I'm fine, and we are, and in some films there are no vans, uh, like and we go with it because our job or our passion is to make that film, and there is a very medium budget that we stick to, and we have to make that film. For Joram, in most of the shootings there was no van, nothing, no facility. It's just that we were working in the areas where the travels were there. So I'm not that kind of actor to answer this question. But I would say that I find all that discussion a little contradictory because all the people who are complaining about it, they have been making films only with stars because they somewhere thought that the stars will get them the budget that will help them to make that film, that kind of a grand film.
Grand. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are making a grand film, for that you need a very big star. And if a big star comes, he comes with his own perks. So you can't ask the star not to take reduce the fee, reduce his perks, and let you make the film, right? So
Yeah.
all of you want to ride on the shoulder of the stars and still complain about the perks that should
Hmm.
go to him.
But budget में right.
तो बजट में ही फिल्में बन रही हैं उनकी उनकी
Hmm.
बजट उतनी ही फिल्म उनकी फिल्म उतनी ही पैसे में बन रही हैं जो वो स्टार लाके देता है मार्केट से,
जी
राइट?
जी
उसमें उसके सब कुछ इंक्लूडेड है, उसके बजट में भी सब कुछ इंक्लूडेड है एट ऑल. You have to you want to ride on the shoulder of the stars, and still you want to make the film within that kind of a budget. You should have a closed door conversation with the stars instead of doing it in front of the media, because it is not going to help you. It will only help
very well.
if you sit with the stars and find a middle ground.
That's great.
Because nobody asked me to reduce my staff, because my staff system is already reduced. Nobody asked me to reduce my money because it is already reduced. That the market gives me the money, and I'm paid that much, and there is no cut on the profit. We make the film in 35 days, 40 days, and we move out. We go home. Everyone is very happy.
Very, very interesting take. You know, one question I wanted to ask you that, when does the creative gratification for you when you're working on a film, on a project, really come full circle? Do you watch your own work once,
I try to avoid. Mostly, I avoid. There's no point watching my own work because
do you tend to find faults or anything?
yeah, because I'm a very brutal critic of myself. I know, so my parameter is very high. Sorry, and my barometer is very high. So it becomes very very difficult to really satisfy myself. So I just to avoid that stress, I don't watch it.
But does box office success matter to you?
अब तो बॉक्स ऑफिस कहाँ रहा, तो अभी तो लोग तो जाए पहले. पहले देखिए, मेरे लिए मैटर कभी नहीं रहा. मेरी फिल्मोग्राफी देखेंगे आप तो 10 शायद 7 से 8 फिल्में ही हैं जो मैंने जो बॉक्स ऑफिस वाली बनती हैं उनमें था मैं, जिसमें कि सत्यमेव जयते सुपरहिट थी, बागी 2 सुपरहिट थी, शूटा डेट वडाला सक्सेसफुल फिल्म थी, परेड फ्लॉप थी, और आपको बेवफा नहीं चली थी. बाकी तो मैंने ज्यादा किया ही नहीं उस तरीके से.
Yeah, you've had a winning streak at the box office majorly.
And if you go by the success and the flops, I'm known for my flop films. And those flop films have given me so much of name and fame. Aligarh, Bhosle, Banda, Gali Guliyan. They have given me lot of respect, lot of respect.
The Family Man is one of the biggest shows. Everybody is looking forward to it.
It is not one of the biggest shows. You guys should not be might not be stingy about the words. It's the biggest show.
It is the biggest show. I take that back. I rephrase that. It is the biggest. No, I do believe that it is. Incredible first 2 seasons. When you come back on the sets, once again, do you take a moment to sort of get into the shoes of Shrikant again, or is it like homecoming?
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not that easy because Shrikant Tiwari, the time has passed. Shrikant Tiwari is in a different phase of his life and his
Yeah.
profession. He has different challenges. He's facing with his family different challenges on the job, and so much time, so much water have already flown under the bridge. So he's a different man in a different situation now.
All right. Well, that's it from me. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was so lovely speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.